Baltimore, what's good? No better way to welcome you into the Charm City than to look at the Inner Harbor. It's showtime. The Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference Football Media Day kicking off from its new digs, home of the Ravens. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're at M&T Stadium. We're delighted to be here with you for another year. I'm Tiffany Greene, along with not only the MEAC Hall of Fame, but also the newly inducted Black College Hall of Famer.
Say it again.
Jay Walker, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for him. Give it up for him. Welcome back, partner.
And welcome to Maryland, or as I like to say, welcome to the area here. Very excited to be here in Baltimore. It's that time of year, Tiff. It's getting close. I'm a football guy. We're getting close. I can feel it in the air. We're getting closer to putting them pads on and seeing who's going to join me in the Black College Football Hall of Fame one day.
We talk about crab cakes, culture, but let's also take a look at some of the storylines that we're going to see. And how about the coaches? The new coaches introduced into the league this year. Obviously, one of the big storylines for NFLers, Deshaun Jackson and Michael Vick take the helm of Delaware State and Norfolk State, respectively. The question of instant success from last year in South Carolina State, can they run it back again in the MEAC? And Jay, finally, Eric Hunter, one of those players with plenty of star power. Your thoughts on the upcoming football season?
I mean, a lot to digest right there, but obviously fly, Eagle, fly is the mantra right now for this season, with Michael Vick, hometown boy, taking over at Norfolk State, and Deshaun Jackson bring a little West Coast flavor to Delaware State. And they've got some energy that's definitely taking place there. And then you think about it, everybody wants to know the one-year success that Tennessee had last year. It was a miraculous run. Is there a sophomore slump? Some of these other coaches want to know that, but around the country, it's the win now mentality. And Eric Hunter is probably the most talented NFL prospect we've had in this conference for the last decade or so. He's the real deal.
All right, let me tell you who's the real deal. Sonia Stills, the fourth year, leading the way in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. We'll have an opportunity to sit down and talk with her along with coaches and players, but we've got a nice little spin to it. All right, so we've got a new atmosphere, new place, but we've also got some new folks that we've got to introduce. Not only coaches, but one of our special guests and special hosts, Shady McCoy. Yes, and gentlemen, continuing on with that Fly Eagle Fly theme. Former running back in the NFL is going to be sitting down with the coaches in his spot, all nice and cozy. You like Shady? Oh, you know Shady.
Oh, Shady could go.
Oh, yeah.
He could go. He's one of those guys, fun to watch. Remember him when he was at Pitt and then played for the Eagles. He's a go-getter. We'll see how he does with the microphone with his coaches. Don't take it too soft on him, Shady. Don't take him too soft on him.
Indeed, a fun twist to this, and we look forward to seeing you back on the other side. We'll have an announcement of the all-conference teams within the MEAC, along with the much-anticipated predicted order of finish here from Baltimore. Hey, hoping to make the transition from the college ranks to the NFL. Jay, you had the opportunity to do so. Not only a MEAC Hall of Famer, but a Black College Football Hall of Famer. He's back. We're going to give you your flowers each and every time. But we also are going to get your insight, right? Sure. Because the predicted order of finish, we are reveal it right now. This was voted upon by not only the league coaches, but also the league's sports information directors around the MEAC. And we're going to go from last to first. So starting at number 6, ladies and gentlemen, taking a look at the MEAC predicted order of finish. Delaware State coming in at number 6. And obviously a big job for Deshaun Jackson to try to the Hornets up in the ranks.
Instant motivation right there if you're the Delaware State Hornets. When we talk to them a little bit, you have the feeling that they're saying things can only get better from here. So they're starting from the bottom. Hey, but Delaware State, new attitude, looking to improve upon their finish in the MEAC.
Taking a look at number 5, coming in and maybe surprised in a sense that Howard University, just the MEAC champions who celebrated, or in the Celebration Bowl just a couple years ago, now fall to number 5 this season.
And you said it right. That's the surprise. The fact that Howard was predicted to win this conference a season ago or compete, coming off a disappointing year where they only won one game in the conference. You only win one game in the conference, you are who your record says you are. Howard University comes in predicted 5th out of 16.
And as you're taking a look at this graphic, you'll see the numbers to the right of the schools. That's the number of overall votes that they receive, and then that extra number beyond the dash is how many first place votes.
Those look like head coach votes right there. Those like the
well,
votes
they had a
from the
say
head
in
coach
it, Jay.
saying, we got a chance.
Coming in at number 4, they're going to say this a lot this season. Behold,
the green
and gold of Norfolk State University.
Well, the excitement's there. This is a team award right there for Norfolk State. Yes, they've added a new coach with excitement with Michael Vick, but if you look at it, Norfolk State beat Howard a season ago. They both had the same record in conference, so Norfolk State gets the nod in the predicted order of finish 4th in the MEAC.
Now, this is where things get interesting because it is a fight to the finish every week once the MEAC season unfolds. And coming in at number 3, a team that has been there, who has been clawing and fighting. Can they get over the hump? We're talking about the Morgan State Bears, and this is their home city.
I mean, winners of 6 games a season ago, so Coach Damon Wilson has them trending in the right direction. This year predicted to come in 3rd place. They've got a fantastic defense that can travel. Can they put it all together and try and improve upon their performance?
All right, well, looking to improve from a season ago, North Carolina Central. High expectations always for Trey Oliver's group out of Durham, North Carolina. 61 overall votes, 4 first place votes for the Eagles.
And you talk about a team that brings some experience back. They know what it takes to get the job done. They also know what it's like to not take care of business and get the job done. Will this be the year that North Carolina was able to return to Atlanta?
Well, all of the conversation last year was surrounding Chennis Berry, South Carolina State, replacing a legend, and Buddy Pugh. What would he do with the Bulldogs? Could he return them to the back of the top of the MEAC mountain? And yes, he was able to do so, and going undefeated in conference play in a very impressive fashion.
I mean, exceeded expectation. I think if you're a team that's on the bottom predicted order finish, you learn from South Carolina State. A season ago, they were predicted to come in 4th or 5th in the conference. What did they do? They went out there and won the whole thing, one of the best teams of all of HBCU football. Now, it's one thing to be the hunter. How they're going to handle it when they're the hunted, that's going to be the challenge for South Carolina State, because things happen. When you achieve a certain level of success, then all of a sudden everybody likes you a little bit more. Everybody said, oh, I knew you could do it the whole time. Well, you got to block out all the noise, and it'll be interesting. And if there's anybody that we know that's going to have the Bulldogs ready to play, it's head coach Chennis Berry.
Chennis Berry always talks about going
1-0.
1-0.
We can only go 1-0.
Well, you saw him sprinkle that success last year with all of the different transfers who came over with him from his previous institution. When we take a look at the first conference or first team all-conference list, you'll see something rather interesting. For the MEAC champion, South Carolina State Bulldogs, look at that first team list. How many Bulldogs do you see up there, Jay?
Well, you would think you'd see a lot, but that's what's happened so much with the transfer portal and today's college football landscape. As you take a look and we reveal first team all-conference team.
Walker Harris returning at quarterback for the Eagles. Kevon King along with Eden James from this D.C., Maryland area. And then anybody else jump to you on that list? I got to say, I see a lot of Eagles up there.
You see the Eagles there making an impact right away. You got a number of guys there, and these are guys that we know. I mean, even when you go to A.C. McMorrow, he's a veteran. He's played a lot for North Carolina Central. Noah McKinney started as a freshman. So I think those people that have been around for the years around the program, they're being rewarded with the preseason all-conference selection.
Well, I know you love to talk about offense as a quarterback, but we do have to flip to the other side of football, those guys who are going after you. And I think Noah Miles is a guy that jumped. He's been waiting his turn and opportunity to be along that defense front for the Bison. He's a first-team all-conference selection along with Deshaun Fields out of Morgan State. They always had a stout defense.
Yeah, Max Juren's a guy, veteran, been around the MEAC for a number of years, so he's a starting inside linebacker. But how about this? Morgan State has 5 Bears first-team all-defense. We talk about their defense is the one that they think can win a championship. Well, I think the rest of the conference agrees with that as well. They've got some quality players on the all-defensive team led by Eric Hunter, Mr. for the Bears.
All right, taking a look at the specialists here, got to give love as well. And Morgan State and Norfolk State both represented well. The
White can go.
Jalen White,
guy,
indeed.
He can go.
Yes.
He's a guy, he can be a weapon for them, and he can help change the field position in the return game.
All right, second team all-conference selections. On the offensive side of the ball, Jayshon Scroggins is going to try to lead the way on the hilltop. Meanwhile, you've got a number of guys you've seen or kind of Malik Leatherberry coming through, Chance Peterson as some of those impact players for respective teams.
Yeah, we'll get an opportunity to talk to a lot of these guys as they'll come here and they're representing their universities there. But I think the one thing is they want consistency, and a lot of the team leaders and team captains are being rewarded by their coaches in the media for being leaders at their respective institutions.
Isaiah Cook trying to lock things down along that line for Delaware State. Taking a look at the second team all-conference defense. And for you, Jay, is there anybody perhaps in the secondary or in that linebacking core that piques your interest?
You know, this is where I think Norfolk State's starting to get a little respect. They've got some guys. You know, Norfolk State's problem wasn't necessarily defensively, it was the offense was inconsistent. So when you see guys that are represented like Noah Tracy, that's the specialist there, but Jaden Smith from Woodbridge, Virginia, guys like that, those second-tier players there, Tariq Miles, Keyshawn Lynch, those are some of the guys that are going to be relied upon. If Michael Vick's going to turn around the offense, these guys have to stay steady on defense.
All right, Jay, so we've gone through the all-conference selections. Okay, go ahead. What do you want me to remember,
Jay? 2 years ago when we were talking about Norfolk State was the youngest team in the conference. Dawson Odoms recruited and played a number of young guys. Well, now those young guys are going to be grown. So that's a benefit that a lot of people don't realize that Coach Vick is going to have in the season. They were the youngest team 2 years ago. Now they're one of the more experienced teams in the conference.
All right, it's breeze here at M&T Stadium. Got to love the elements, but I also have to love who we are going to unfold right now. The preseason player of the year in the MEAC, and he's hailing from Morgan State. Jason Collins Jr. is the running back who is predicted to be the preseason player of the year, Jay.
Where are we at? We're in Baltimore?
We're in Baltimore.
And where's Morgan
We're Baltimore.
State? Yeah, where's Morgan State? It's in B-More?
Right here.
And that may be a little home cooking there. Let me tell you why. I'm not taking anything away from Jason Collins, fantastic running back, but it's not adding up. How are you the projected offensive player of the year, but you're projected to be second team all conference? Now, my Howard University math taught me a little bit different than that, but they're going to play it out on the field. This is all preseason, but congratulations to Jason Collins, the preseason player of the year in the Mid-East Athletic Conference. And I will say this, if he gets it and he ends up being the offensive player of the year, Morgan State's going to do some damage in the conference.
Well, let's stay with Morgan State, and this guy's been out of hibernation now for a little bit. He's coming off of an injury from a season ago, but Eric Hunter, you're really high on this linebacker.
He's got all the tools that you need. He's got the size, he's got the length, he's got the angles, he's got the speed, and he's got the experience. So a lot of pressure on Morgan State right now. They say they got an offense, they say they've got a defense. They're predicted to come in third place, but they've got the talent to do it. I think those people that have watched the conference over and over, you've seen the growth of Morgan State. Physically, they can do it. A matter of, can they put it all together?
Well, that is the question that everyone wants to know, and everyone's feeling good going into this year. Why? Because
everybody's undefeated right now.
There you go. There you go. But the Hornet rebuild is underway for Delaware State. Their first-year head man, LeSean Jackson. We'll hear from him on the other side as he's going to sit down with Shady McCoy. But we get a chance to talk to the players, ladies and gentlemen, and we want to hear their outlook for the season. Come back with us.
From open house to acceptance, new student orientation, and
peer. Obviously, everyone has hopes and dreams if you're playing this game to make it to NFL Stadium to play on Sunday. And we're joined now by two fantastic young men out of Delaware State who are joining us now. Brian Bates, the linebacker for the Hornets, along with Marquise Gillis as well. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. We're excited. All right, so this is a new opportunity and a new take on Delaware State. And so for you all, what are your expectations, Brian, coming in?
Expectations going into the season is to dominate every single game. Coming in with that we're going to play fast from the first quarter all the way to the fourth.
Marquise, in terms of just your ability to try to ignite this offense, right? So coming in that running back position, and obviously you've got a great skill guy in LeSean Jackson who played the game, and so he wants to make you a feature point of his offense. In terms of what you hope to do in this upcoming season, what have you been working on?
I've been working on my body, off the field stuff, taking care of myself. I'm getting a little older, and my speed and how I read defenses. I have an excellent coach, Coach Clem Portis, He helps me read defenses, the front lines and all that, and he helps me think faster and play faster just by reading defenses. So little stuff like that, you know, it's not all about athletic ability at the end of the day. At the end of the day, you have to go into film and plays and stuff like that.
All right, fellas, let's talk some ball now. Let's talk some ball.
Yes,
Y'all just saw it. It was just revealed. Delaware State predicted to come in last place in the MEAC.
Yeah.
What's up with that? Tell me why it won't happen.
Nah,
You know, we got like I said before, the culture we got around us, the energy. We got a great group of gentlemen around us. Like I said, Coach Jackson, Coach Clark, Clinton Portis, Eugene Chung. We got like 6 years of NFL experience. So at the end of the day, they're giving us the jewels. We're going to apply it.
I'm glad you said that because, you know, you were there when we revealed the all-conference team and the Player of the Year team. You were selected first-team all-conference running back, but yet the second-team all-conference running back is supposed to be the Player of the Year. What you got to say about that?
It's okay, you know. We came here, we're the underdogs, so the people we've been around, the new coaching change, we're just going to show everybody wrong. We're going to dominate the MEAC.
And for you, you got to step it up because you're from Delaware.
Yes,
so that's
sir.
something else. And my buddy Brian here, you from Centerville, VA, from the DMV there.
Sure.
And so your take there, you know, you've been able to see the process, and we've seen a lot of things that have taken place with the growth. And now with Coach Jackson, there's some expectations there.
Yes, sir.
What have you done to improve yourself as a player to meet those expectations?
Well, for one, I've been improving my play recognition for sure, so I can play fast, physical, all 4 quarters of the game. Another thing too is my speed to be able to play sideline to sideline, be able to run with slide, line up outside the box, make plays inside the box, all that.
Now, one thing I love in learning about you all is that, you're working on your master's in business administration. You are a business major. And so you're taking this buzz you were telling us before and using it to your advantage.
Yes,
in what
ma'am.
way, if you can enlighten everyone?
Yes, ma'am. I'm using this, the buzz around our school in the ways, I'm saying, just when it comes to NIL, I'm trying to get into content creating and also promote my barber business. I'm a campus barber at Delaware State. Just using the buzz around our team to kind of just put that out there as young entrepreneurs.
Jay, you can appreciate that, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, what number play do I need to use on mine for my
Look like you
fade?
got 2 guard up top.
It's a 2-guard now.
2-guard
It's
up top.
1.5. It is a 2-guard right now. I couldn't
2-guard.
get it cut right there. And Marcus, talk about, Marquise, when we talk about, I played in the MEAC, student athlete first. You've already graduated. You've got your degree. Talk about what education means to you, what you majored in.
Education means a lot to me and my family. We come from everybody's getting degrees and everybody's going to school. If you're not going to do that, go in the Army or something like that. But the biggest thing for me, I wanted to piggyback off what he said. I'm an entrepreneur as well. I got my own T-shirt brand company called Yes God Threads. I feel like the coaches coming in, they helped motivated me to start that. I started in May. I already sold like 200 plus shirts. And we're in camp, so
Okay.
they're little hustlers over here.
I respect that. I respect that, gentlemen. You get your hustle on. And you know what? Your coach is standing by with Shady, McCoy. And, when Shady, coach hears of his players being entrepreneurs and taking matters into their own hands, it's got to make him feel good that he's been able to empower them.
Wow. We're blessed to be with, should I say, Coach or Deshaun? What should I call you? I mean, it's
Coach Jack, man.
Okay, Coach Jack?
Yeah, Coach Jack.
It's funny that we both were drafted with the Eagles, right?
Yes, sir.
Andy Reid's our favorite coach, obviously. And he said, hey, you can't call me Andy until after my 3rd year.
Yeah.
Has it been weird with the players calling you Coach?
When I first came in, I had a few guys like, hey, D Jack. I'm like, who D Jack? I'm like, man, my name Coach Jack. So I think for me, it took some time, but I just got to set the standard. You know what I'm saying? You can't call me D Jack because I'm not D Jack. I'm Coach Jack.
First of all, I'm proud of you. Before we start the interview, I'm proud of you. I see you young men talking up there, man.
Yes.
It seemed real confident, seemed smart, got a lot of things going on. But I want to shift the focus here. Now, when you became the head coach of Delaware State, it's been a big energy everywhere.
Sure.
Even when I walked down the street, people was talking about Sean as the coach. What type of coach are you going to bring to Delaware State? Because we got to know.
I think our culture, man, is player-ran, man. I think everything we do is player-led, and I got to understand this from my players because at the end of the day, being the coach, some of the coaches that we respect the most, Andy Reid, he understood the players. So for us, it's player-driven, and it's an expectation. It's a standard. We're not going to standard for anybody, first and foremost, but I like my guys to be themselves. They got to be authentic, and they got to be genuine to themselves because together, the brotherhood we building, man, y'all going to be able to see that on Thursdays, Saturdays, or Fridays.
Okay. You know what? So when you get into the NFL, which we've both been in, you have this thing of welcome to the NFL.
Yeah.
right? We all have that story.
For sure.
What has been your welcome to college head coach experience and moment?
Crazy. It's not even been the X's and O's, man. It's been all the compliance and all the admissions, getting guys into school, making sure they're going to class. I mean, like, football stuff to me, honestly, is easy. Like, getting calls, your player just parked here, he ain't supposed to park here. It's like, man, I got to worry about making sure these dudes are doing the right things off the field. So I think really just knowing that I got to make sure I'm keeping up with 105 players every day.
All right, now, I got to be honest with you. The Deshaun Jackson I know, Coach Jackson, I should say, is a winner. Big chip on the shoulder. The predictions got y'all last. How you feel about that?
That don't bother me, man. At the end of the day, I'm still modest with this because at the end of the day, I know the work we putting in. You know what I'm saying? Regardless, I love the underdog. You know, I've been an underdog my whole life, and I've been successful my whole life. So coming into this, we won, 2 games and lost 22 over the past 2. So, you know, I come into this situation, we can't do nothing to go up. I'm good at the bottom right now, but I guarantee we ain't going to stay there.
Now, let's talk about some of the players out there, man, that we're expecting to have a big year. There's always players that you don't really know who they are until they get out there in that field and like, wow, this guy becomes a star. Can you talk about some of the players?
Man, so my 2 guys I got here today, man, Marquise Gillis, man, he's been a dog, he's been a baller, man.
Tell me about him.
Been putting a lot of work in. I definitely, he got that dead leg like you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say he you, but he got that dead leg like you. And then my boy Brian Bass, man, he's an enforcer on defense. Sideline, man, these dudes been working hard. They've been a part of the culture, you know, from last year to this year. So I feel like them guys is our glue guys, and I'm happy to bring them here, man, because they deserve it.
Now, I see on your staff you got some very experienced NFL players, right? Clint Portis.
60 years of NFL experience.
Now, how has that been for – because we played this game, and sometimes, you know, you look at a coach, you don't know what it feels like to be in my shoes, be in my cleats.
For sure.
Well, for y'all, that's not the case. How has that been with having experienced NFL guys as coaches, coaching these young kids?
Yeah. I mean, for me, honestly, I wouldn't be able to be successful without the guys around me. And I understand that, you know, having a relationship with Coach Prime, Andy Reid, guys I respect at the next level, you know, they're not able to have the success without having the guys around them. So I feel like I'm a leader of men. I know X's and O's, but I got an offensive coordinator, I got a defensive coordinator. I don't want to plays on neither side. So I'm on them every day, like, make sure you're doing the right thing, because at the end of the day, I just want to be able to lead men and, you know, get them to the right direction. Hopefully, it's a small percentage. You know that the guys is going to make it to the next level. So, I mean, as long as these men can take something from what I'm telling them and walk across the stage, graduate, and just be good citizens in life, I'll be all right.
2 last questions for you. I want to hold you up, Coach Jackson.
Yes, sir.
But I do want to ask you this. Having that relationships with the Andy Reids, with the Deion Sanders, with all these guys that we know personally, how has the transition been from coaching and getting some advice from them guys?
It's been amazing. I think, honestly, without them guys, I wouldn't even be in the seat, first and foremost. Deion himself, what he did at Jackson State, HBCU. Obviously, now he's at Colorado. Andy Reid, he talked to, you know, my athletic director going through this process to help me even get hired right now. So I think, you know, just taking information from them, utilizing it to me now being the head coach, and implementing it to my players and my relationships I got with these guys. But I think sky's the limits for guys like us, you know, retired guys that at a high level. You know, we could get into to the college level and coach now.
Now, the last question. Now, our big brother is the head coach of Norfolk State. His name is Michael Vick.
Our big bro?
His name is Michael Vick. And we all going to be at the link when y'all play them. What's that going to look like?
It's going to get real, man. It's the first time we're going to be on opposite sidelines coaching versus each other, but I think that's anticipated high, man. I think everybody going to be out there. It's in Philadelphia. But just one game at a time. I ain't going to let you get it, because I know how we got UD the first game of the year, and that's what we're worried about right now. So October 30th, we'll worry about that when they get there. But it's going to be on for sure.
Jay and Tiff, listen, we going to that game. They play Norfolk. We going to that game.
We're going to be there.
Back to y'all.
We look forward to being there.
They're going to be there, too.
Yeah.
It's not important whether or not we there, Shady, and all that stuff. He need these dudes, these goons right here to be there to make an impact in Philadelphia. Your coach put it out there. He said, y'all got to show up when y'all play Norfolk State, but he also said it all starts with game 1. That's right.
You did. Most that we most going to show out, you know what I'm saying? All I'm going to say is y'all watch and tune in October 30th at the Lincoln Financial Field.
All right, there. He's coming ready. Brian Bates, Marquise Gillis, thanks so much for joining us. And the teammates feeling so comfortable. You saw them just talking, former podcast friends as well on 2510. We'll be back with more here from M&T Stadium. Coming up on the other side, we'll hear from the Howard Bison.
Howard University.
To finish 5th in the conference predicted order of finish this season. Jay, I know you
normally
feel
I'm
a little
football
type
guy.
of way about that.
I'm always a football guy, but I mean, you have to pay some homage when America's HBCU joins us on the set. Everything just got a little spiffier here. We just got a little bit smarter in here. We just got a little sportier in here. What else am I missing?
Okay, that's enough. That's enough. I'm going to stop him before he gets too much further into it. Braylon Smith along with Judah McGimpsey. And gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be with you all today. And for you all, hearing predicted to finish 5th, when you saw the top of the hilltop and the top of the MEAC mountain just a couple of years ago, your thoughts on being picked to finish 5th?
I think motivation, we don't mind being the underdogs, and we just ready to get to work.
Nah, for sure. Everybody got their own opinion, you know. But, you know, in-house, we know what we want to do. We know what we want to get done.
All right, Bison, let's go back. Last year at this same event at the media day, you know, y'all were projected to come in 1st or 2nd place. Didn't happen. What happened? And how do you fix that?
We just had a hard reset in the winter, you know. We trying to find a new program identity, set that foundation for the season.
In terms of what you feel like you've had to do and becoming more vocal as a leader, you know, how has it stretched you as a person?
You know, I've always been a guy who led by example, but sometimes people need to hear it. Like, when we're not meeting that standard, you got to hear it from somebody else who's trying to do the same thing you're doing.
Judah, defensively, what are some of the things that you all had to come together as a unit? Because you had expectations, had star power there, but you lost a lot as well. So defensively, what are some of the focal points for the Bison defense?
Just playing fast, physical, and striking fair into all our opponents and really getting turnovers this year.
Great, more turnovers there. And when you look at some of the games that are out there, fast and physical, everybody wants to be fast and physical. But what have you worked on individually in your game?
Just working on my hips, my movement, and trying to be versatile with stopping the run and stopping the pass.
Okay. And on the offensive side of the ball?
Me just taking, like, the quick hitches and the bubbles to the crib, 60-yard touchdowns, you know, taking the small plays and making them big.
Jay, you know he's from Florida, right? In Florida, so, you know, he's got that Florida speed. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
I mean, Howard got a little bit of everything. We got people from Florida, Texas, St. Louis, all that stuff. But who's going to be your quarterback, though? That's going to be the key. QB1 is going to be the key. You know, that position is dire, deep in my heart right there. So you can catch it all day long, but how you feeling about the quarterback situation?
I mean, that's a little bit above my pay grade, but, you know, whoever's back there, we're going to be confident in to lead us, so we're ready to go.
All right. The things that I love in learning about players off the camera, we get to bring them on the camera. And so for you, Braylon, a lot of different interests, right? So you're an outdoorsman.
Yeah, for sure.
Give us a glimpse of what that looks like for you on any given Saturday when you have some time.
Nah, at home I enjoy fishing all the time with my guys, my buddies. You know, it's just fun being out there on the lake. You know, sometimes people say it's boring, but it's just about being out there enjoying the moment.
You like catching or fishing?
Nah, catching.
Okay.
All right. So now, Jude, if I come by Cook Hall, the Towers, or one of those dormitories there, what are you going to be doing with your free time? What do you like to do?
Probably just be listening to music, chilling for real.
Listening to music and chilling. What TV show you watching right now? What you watching on TV?
I'm really just watching WWE right now.
WWE.
Oh,
Yes,
wait a minute.
So
I don't know a lot about WWE, so hit me to who you like right about now.
I like CM Punk, Roman Reigns. Those are my 2 guys for real.
Okay, I got. Well, who's next?
Who's next? Oh, you talking
You
about
next. Goldberg, Howard University's next right now.
Braylon, you not only are you focused on your studies, also football and something else of importance to you.
Yeah, I just got engaged over the summer, so that's been fun. New journey, going through that. You know, she's back home right now, so just focusing on football, but also being there for her at the same time.
Now, I've heard a lot about the yard, right? So she was able to wrap you up and away from the yard. You know what I'm saying? Right. Judah, your car's still on the table, right?
Oh,
so
yeah, my car's still
I'll tell you, I ain't seen no green eyes like that on that.
All right, anyway, so hey, look, standing by with our very own Shady McCoy and Coach Larry Scott, the head man for the Howard Bison.
Larry Scott here with Hampton, and it's funny, man. You could tell when Hampton's in the building, high standards. Look at the.
We ain't gonna keep letting that go. We're not Hampton. We're the real HU. We're Howard University.
That's my bad. Them H's mix me up a little bit.
Yeah,
Howard.
You came out and said this is the job you wanted.
Let me put this down. That's my fault. My fault. But I'm talking about the standard part of it, the Howard standard part of it.
Yeah.
Mike Vick came over here and messed with me. You know, he's from over there. That's the problem.
Yeah.
But real quick, as you walk here, you can see the swag and the suit and standard. Let's talk about it. Like, you have arrived. I see it.
Man, look, Howard is excellence. And we talk about being, man, that excellence running synonymous with everything that you do, from the classroom, the way you dress, the way you carry yourself, the way you represent this great brand. So at the end of the day, yeah, you better be on your P's and Q's, you better be sharp, and you better bring it every time you get an opportunity to.
Yeah, and that's my fault. I apologize about that.
Yeah, bro.
Boy, Vic over here messing around with me.
That's a big one right there, bro.
I do want to ask you this, though. You know, as you come over here with the confidence, the swagger, you smile a little different. I want to say this. What gives you that confidence going into the season with your team?
Man, that's just the work these guys have been putting in. Like we heard Braylon just say, we went through a hard reset, and that's what we called it. We're going to reboot this thing, right? We know what we're all about. We know that the results we got last year is not who we are and nothing that we want to be about. We had been to back-to-back, tied in 22, outright in 23, went to the Celebration Bowl, didn't take care of the business we needed to take care of there. We left something in Atlanta, and then we came back and we went through a lot of growing pains, a lot of transitional growing pains and things that you don't get to skip steps in the process, especially in a place like Howard. You don't get to do that. We're not going to be the program that can, just reverse the roster year in and year out with transfers. We don't get to take a lot of transfers. You can't be a 2 or 3 year transfer and get in Howard University. You have to be a graduate of a university already before we can take you as a grad transfer. You have to only be in 1 year. So we have to do a great job developing, and we're going to have to go the long, hard road sometimes. So we've had some young guys that were slow cooking, and developing and growing, and now it's time to cook. And I think you're going to get a different result from what we had last year.
As you speak about the kids, you talk about this, the hard work they're putting in, right? The dedication.
Yep.
If you had to give me the personality of the team, of the players, how would you describe them?
Man, resilient. To be a Howard student athlete ain't easy. The academic, acumen you have to go to, the being in the city that is an open campus in the city in Georgia Avenue. Not only are you learning to navigate, playing college athletics at a high level, and handling yourself in the classroom at a very high level. You're around elite people, and then we right down the block from Georgia Avenue.
Right.
You better have some awareness. You better know where you're at. You better have your head on a swivel and learn how to live and navigate in that environment too as well. So being at Howard is just in every aspect is an education within itself. So the resilience that these young men show, the keep coming to work and excelling in every area every day is pretty resilient. And when we got them like that, we're gonna have a chance to win all the time.
Coach, before you came on, I was with LeSean Jackson, right?
Yep.
And we were off air, and he was saying a lot of his players, talented players, they were shooting, they went to Howard, right? And he was upset about that. Talk about the talent, because you've been around, you've been to Miami, right? Yep. USF, you've been around some of them teams. Talk about the talent level you have right there in Howard.
Man, it's been awesome, right? I think we've done a really good job recruiting and identifying. The way that we evaluate, obviously, is different. We have to recruit to a certain profile, which allows us to recruit coast to coast. We can recruit all over the country in this brand walking living rooms. We're going to give ourselves an opportunity, and we're dealing with, a young man that is academically inclined. He understands the importance of his education, even in this new scope of, NIL and all those type of things. We're not going to get into the world of where our education value of our degree is devalued by that, when those things can be synonymous and multiple things can be true at the same time. You can be an NIL player, but you can also value the idea that I'm here to get a degree. I'm here to get multiple degrees. I mean, two of those young men, one of the young men on the screen right there, he just said he's engaged, but he's also just finished his undergrad degree, going into working his, in his master's. And the other young man, Joda, was a walk-on into our program, paying his own way. You know about Howard, it's like $60,000 a year to go to school there.
Right.
And this young man earned himself a scholarship inside of 2 years, and they've been the heart and soul of our offseason and our team and our culture on defense. And when he speaks, everybody listens. So we got young men that grow and develop the right way, even in this new landscape. And we're going to do it that way, and that's why we'll win.
Now let's get right back to the field. So we have the predictions, right? And you guys, they have you ranked 5th. Now, what's going to change that? Because I know, as I talk to you, I already know you ain't with that. You ain't going back.
No, not at all. And then I'm trying to find out right before you get ready to go on set, you got to fix it, right? You got to fix it up and dress it all up. But I think everybody, they kind of set it on the deal. It was a surprise a little bit to see where we are. But hey, that's just more fuel to the fire. When you pour gas on a burning fire,
right,
you may get burned.
That's right. Is there any players, before we get out of here, is there any players that maybe the world don't know about right now, but they will come game one?
I think those two young men right there are tremendous players, but I think, you turn on the defensive side of the ball and you see a guy like Cam Dyson who's coming along. You see a guy like, obviously Judah we talked about, but Kedrick Greene, who's now going to get his opportunity, who's been behind Kenny Gallup for the last 3 years and just learned to develop and took on his role, and now he's one of the big-time leaders on our team. And I think everybody knows, the Eden James, but I think a guy that everybody better watch out for is Travis Kearney.
Okay.
He's a guy that's worked his, off. He's from my hometown. My brother coached him. My brother's a high school coach and coached him. And when he came in, we had high expectations for him, but was able to kind of cook him slow too as well. changed his body. He's leaned out. He's gotten in great shape. And I'll tell you, he's going to be a name that everybody needs to look out for.
Okay, all right. Well, Howie Roseman, GM for the Eagles, said there's some players out there in Howard he got to go get. So thanks for the interview.
Absolutely,
right?
brother.
And tell
Appreciate
my
it,
man Mike to leave me alone over here.
Yeah, confusing and Howard, man, is a no-no, bro.
That's a no-no. That is a no-no.
That's a no-no.
You ain't got no backup on that one, Shady.
deep.
That's
That
my
one runs
school, too,
deep.
man. You know, you don't want coming out there saying, you know, what was it like when you played at Penn State?
I already, listen.
All right,
That's
Penn
like if
State.
Saquon was just talking to me, then I'm like, oh, that's me.
I got you, man. It's all good, man. One thing Coach said, man, you know, that's one thing that I take proud in as a Howard alum. Like, you know, Judah, walk on. You walked onto the football team. Now you're one of the leaders on the football team. That is Howard. I'm done, Tiff.
Representations of Howard University, the gentleman here along with Coach Larry Scott. Thank you so much, Judah Braylon. We appreciate your time. And when we come back, you will hear from Vic. Yeah. Right. All right. And company when we return here to Baltimore. 2025 MEAC Football Media Day, and there is some fresh fellas on the set here. I love the pop of green,
That
so
green
you know
is
what
it.
it is.
That
You
green
already
is
know
it.
what it is.
Yeah.
Behold the green and gold. The Spartans of Norfolk State, Khalif Jemison, defensive back, and Drayshawn Kendrick, the wide receiver for the Spartans. And obviously, everybody's been talking about it, right? So much excitement and enthusiasm, a phenomenal level of anticipation in Norfolk. We're in M&T Stadium. But what are football Saturday nights going to be like in days in Dick Price Stadium?
It's going to be full of energy. It's going to be full of excitement. We're going to have a show for everybody to come watch.
Yeah, and we know a lot of people want to watch and see what we do this year. And we know a lot of eyes are going to be on our game, so we just get ready to do our part.
Let's take a different approach. You all are new to the program. You all came in for the Mike Vick effect a little bit there. So talk about the importance of you want Norfolk State, one, because, you know, the football environment, but two, the opportunity to play for the Michael Vick.
Yeah, that's an opportunity that not a lot of people can say that they're going to get. So just, you know, cherishing the moment and just taking advantage of the opportunity. You know, it's a blessing. So just make sure that you do your part, and it'll be a beautiful thing in the end.
Hey, Jay, though, I don't think a lot of people know that this isn't just the Michael Vick. This is a very familiar guy to both of these gentlemen. Newport News, Virginia native, home of Michael Vick. And Dre, I want you to also chime in on how your ties go back with Mike Vick.
Yeah, so Mike Vick and my dad played together at Tech. My dad was the running back while Coach Vick was the quarterback. So I kind of known him all my life. And once I entered the portal and I found out he was getting a job, he gave me a call, and I was like, why not? It's like the perfect reunion in a sense.
And Khalif, for you, you know, making that move over, left Delaware State, by the way, to go to Norfolk State. For you, it's a little bit different. Not going to call it fandom, but talk about your ties and your relationship with Coach Vick.
Oh, yeah, just me being a hometown guy, you know, it's a blessing to be in this position that I'm in. You know, I grew up going to Michael Vick camps. I played quarterback in high school, growing up in middle school, you know, just out of him as a player and as a human being, you know, just trying to be a great guy coming from where I come from.
Tell the truth. I bet you at some point in time, when you like guys like that, you tried to throw with your left hand before, didn't you? You tried to throw.
Sure.
That's how you know you were righty. I mean, I tried to throw like sideways, try to be like Marino, you know, like that. So you tried to throw with your left hand, but that's what it's all about. Overall, what's that experience like thus far? What are you seeing in the locker room?
Oh, yeah. It's a transition with the culture. Absolutely, you know. Guys are buying in. Everybody's becoming well-knit. We're becoming a family. Just the culture at Norfolk State is what it's about right now.
And Dre, you talked about, let me go back to that offense that Jay was just talking about. I mean, you potentially going to see you're going to see a new quarterback, right? And Israel Carter is coming in, and one of those guys is going to vie for that position. But this is a new offense and a new system for you, and a new opportunity as well.
Yes, so you know, Coach Shep is a real detailed guy, and he preaches and hones in on details every single day. So and he always tells us that no one has to be Superman. If you do your job, if all 11 does their job, then it's going to be a beautiful picture. So, you know, straining to do your job, do your 111, and everything else should take care of itself.
I'm going to go back to 16 receptions, 223 yards receiving for you at William & Mary. Now, what do you feel like this offense will look like, and how can you contribute best?
what you can expect from our offense is a lot of fast pace, getting the ball out quick, getting to our playmakers early and just letting, us work. A lot of it is going to get schemed up by Coach Shep and, just trusting in his process and what he's seeing out there and just, whatever he calls, just full speed and be ready to go.
Khalif, you saw it earlier. We just announced where you all are projected to finish 4th in the conference. You played in this conference before. Y'all have what it takes to go up in the rankings in terms of that?
Absolutely. I've seen it.
Why?
Like you said, I played in the MEAC. I see what the MEAC has to offer. I feel like the talent on this team is beyond great. I feel like we have all the tools to get it done. At the end of the day, it's just being consistent in everything we do to get the job done.
And I want to throw this wild card question out here. Y'all didn't see this one coming, but if you're playing Madden, are you playing with Atlanta Falcons Michael Vick, or are you playing with Philadelphia Eagles Michael Vick?
You got to go Atlanta Falcons Michael Vick.
I'm going Atlanta. Ooh. I'm a Falcons fan, so I'm going.
Even though I'm an Eagles fan, that I played the 04 Madden, even though I was kind of young, but everybody knows his character on Madden 04 was OP. So I'm definitely picking. I'm definitely picking Michael Vick.
All right, Shady, you hear that from the fellas. They're picking the Atlanta version Falcon of Michael Vick on Madden.
Tiff, I see the issue already. You got some kids, man. It's the Eagles, Michael Vick.
That's your choice.
Come on now.
That's your choice. But look, the Eagles, Mike Vick was a lot more mature. I had more fun with y'all than I did in Atlanta because y'all kept me young, and then I had more responsibility. For sure.
Big bro. It's funny. Before we get to this interview, I remember saying in the huddle, man, I want the old Mike with the braids. We got the mature Michael Vick. But just want to ask you this. How does it really feel to now be called Coach Mike Vick?
Yeah, it's a surreal feeling. Just being in this situation, being in these shoes now, it's like the roles have been reversed. But playing quarterback, I think, prepared me for these moments. And, kind of galvanizing the room, controlling the room at times. And coaching on and off the field, I still feel like I had to do that when I was playing. So the role is just different now. It's about getting the young men to accept what we're trying to do, appreciate it, commit to it, dedicate themselves, and so far so good.
Yeah, you always been that type of fit with us. You get into coaching, it's no surprise because you coached us when we were playing together. But I do want to ask you, what's the difference of now young men trying to become a real man in this world, and how's that been as trying to transition from that?
Yeah, it's fun knowing that the football part is that's what we do. But when they look at me every day, when they look at our coaching staff, and I tell everybody, look, we all lead around here. Everybody's a leader. We trying to help them accomplish something in their life that we already accomplished. And so, when you're young, you can't really see the vision. Somebody got to help you see the vision. Right. Andy helped us see the vision. For me, it was Dan Reeves helped me see the vision. So it don't matter where it comes from. It's all about preaching the same message every day and getting to buy into it.
Now, I never told you this, but when I was 20 years old, when I met you, I remember shaking your hand. Hey, I'm Shady. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I met Michael Vick. Have you had an experience like that with players or maybe with a parent? Like, yo, we really got Michael Vick here as our coach.
In the beginning, when I first got to Norfolk State, you could tell that they was comfortable, but they was kind of uncomfortable, so they, is it coach, is it Mike, what is it? But, I had to make it clear from the jump, look, man, it's Coach Vick, and I'm here to coach you in football and in life. So, if they can walk out the door, man, being better men and better football players than I did my job.
Now, my first time ever going to Virginia, I came to see you. We had a little party, you had your family, and now you going back home, right? How does that feel?
Home.
Excitement?
Yeah, I left home when I was 18 and went to Virginia Tech, and time just flew. It was time to look back, and now I get a chance to kind of settle back into my community, give back in my community, not just on the football field but off the field as well. And that was something that I always wanted to do, and I knew I would. Eventually, I knew I would end up back in Virginia, but just didn't know I would be the head coach of Norfolk State. So it's really, really cool.
Through my career, I played with a lot of great quarterbacks: Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. My last year was with Tom Brady. And every time people ask me, the first person they say, "Yo, how was Mike Vick?" Now I know it's a lot of young quarterbacks out there on your squad, first team, second team. Did they ever challenge you? like, Coach, you can't throw it like this. You can't throw it like that.
I think Israel think he can probably throw the ball better than me. Certainly think he's faster than me. The rest of them, they stay in their place. But they're a good group, man. They're a good group, really talented. But yeah, man, I be telling them, like, yo, don't make me put the uniform on.
So you ain't put it on yet?
No, I ain't gonna put it. Okay. But don't make me have to show you how to do it. See, that's the last thing they want me to do is lead by example.
Right. Well, I know that, for example, because I called you out and you beat me in the race. I don't know if you remember that or not.
I definitely remember that. You want to tell everybody?
And that year, I had the rushing title that year.
Yeah,
but I want to
I
ask
was
you,
34 years
before
old.
we leave, I'm changing the subject. I don't want to talk about that no more. Now, we had LeSean Jackson, Coach Jackson, that is.
Yeah.
And y'all got a game in Philadelphia coming up, right? Now, I know game one is the most important game.
You got to get the first one.
But that game in Philadelphia is going to come.
Yeah. October 30th, I think. Yeah.
And how that's going to go? Because D-Jack said it's going to be a lot of belt booty. Now, how that's going to go? Coach Vic?
That's what he told you on the phone. He ain't say that in this setting. He ain't say it in here. But, it's going to be very competitive, and I'm happy that we have an opportunity to play. We just got to get through week 1, week 4. We'll get to Delaware State when we get there. And obviously, which brought all the best. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a competitive game, and I'm glad we was able to have an opportunity to allow our kids to play in Lincoln Financial. So, it'll be the bright lights. It'll be a hell of a stage.
I'm going to be there.
Yeah.
Now, before you
got to be there.
Before I let you go, I know like a group chat, right? You, Dion, a lot of coaches on there, Deshaun. Now, how's it been with kind of like coaching against like your little brother? Because there's times where he called me like, yo, man, Mike done stole my recruit I had and this and that.
And he stole one of my offensive linemen. So
it's part of the game.
But no, I mean, anything I could do for any of the coaches we play against, man, it's all fun and games. Like I ain't trying, we gonna step on the field and we gonna have to get it in 60 minutes, regardless of who you got out there. You got to coach them up, and you just got to, come prepared and ready to play.
Well, my brother, Coach Vic, I love you, man. Good luck this season.
Yeah,
Tiff, back to you.
Yeah, that throwing challenge, Jay decided he wanted to step in the ring. I'm not sure about that.
But here's what I was thinking, though, Shady. Here's what I was thinking, right? You got your guy down there, right? Your teammate, your Eagles teammate, Michael Vick. Okay. I got one of my old teammates I'll put up against yours.
Oh.
You know what I play with?
Okay, Jay.
I play with Randall Cunningham.
You bad boy.
Put some spec on that name right there.
You bad boy.
We
bad boy.
QBs.
All right, Khalif Jemison along with Drayshawn Kendrick, they are looking for the crowds, the bright lights, and some great football this upcoming fall for the Spartans. On the other side, when we come back to the 2025 MEAC Football Media Day, Damon Wilson running things. Hey, this is home turf for him. The Morgan State Bears on the other side.
See yourself.
Our abilities to make sure we're to capitalize this year with the people we have around us.
Eric, let me give you a congratulations. You've been named the preseason defensive player of the year in the conference. What does that mean to you, and what do you take away from that?
Most definitely. I appreciate that one. And it means a lot. I appreciate the recognition most definitely, but at the end of the day, I want to make it happen on the field. At the end of the day, it matters what I do every Saturday going up to the season and making sure I finish strong as well.
I'm curious to know, too, because you missed most of last season due to injury, came back like maybe the final 2 games. So what has your off-season preparation been like, and that hunger that you have to return to where you were before?
Most definitely. I'm definitely very hungry. The off-season preparation was more so watching a lot of film, staying in the coach's office, staying on the board, getting sharper mentally, and that's the best thing I could do during the time where I wasn't able to do it physically.
All right, Jay, you're going to love hearing this right here.
Okay.
Daniel Casillas told us that they have the best quarterback room this season.
And I want to know why. Tell me why you feel that that's the room.
Yeah, just done a great job bringing that quarterback room. Every quarterback we've had has been successful at some point in their career, whether it was high school or at a different institution before they came here. And, that friendly competition is what creates better players when we have multiple guys competing for a starting spot. And at the end of the day, the best player's going to play, and I'm going to block my tail off for him.
And I'm going to say hats off to you, Danny, because one of the things that all men know, but your running back was named preseason offensive player of the year. So you got some company there in the preseason award accolades right there. But what does that mean for you as an offensive lineman to have your running back recognized as an opportunity to be the best offensive weapon in the conference?
I mean, it's a great recognition because, offensive linemen, we don't get the recognition most of the times it's a dirty position. But when we have a running back gets preseason, all player of the year, offensive player of the year, it shows that we're doing our job up front, creating the holes for them to hit and making sure that they're able to get that spotlight.
And both of y'all been around the block a little bit. You know this conference a little. You all got it there. Don't. I'm gonna put you on the spot a little bit. Give me a MEAC game that you say, you know what, gotta have that. It's gonna be personal.
Personal. I mean, all of them are personal, really. I'm just be honest with you. All of them are personal. I mean, really, in all reality.
Do you see him take off the glasses, though? no. He said, wait a minute, now he's about to get really serious. Okay, wait a minute, okay.
I mean, really, we got unfinished business around the MEAC, so we want to just go 5-0 and get to Atlanta in December.
You gonna take the same answer?
Yeah, piggyback on. Yeah, every game in the MEAC is important. It's a small conference where one game can cost you. And we got to make sure we go 1-0 in each game that we play, and hopefully finish out 5-0 and seeing people in Atlanta.
All right, Jay, they're giving us the textbook answers that they should.
Yeah.
One thing you got to have, though, when you come to Maryland and Baltimore specifically, crab cakes, right? So, how often are we consuming said crab cakes?
Not very often,
You said not enough?
Not enough. When the funds are right, I can splurge a little bit.
Okay.
But, I got to make sure my other priorities are straight first.
Now, Eric, we know you've seen the accolades. We know you're a fantastic football player. Tell us about Eric Hunter under the helmet, off the field. What do you like to do?
Most definitely. I like to make beats a lot. I do a little bit of film composition as well.
Hey! Come on.
Bust a beat. Bust a beat.
She got it right here. She made the best one right here.
That's one drummer talking to another. Because he talked to me about 5 different instruments that he plays. That's impressive. But what's your favorite? What's your best?
Stand-up bass and orchestra is my main instrument. That's that you could put any sheet of music in front of me and I could just play it right now.
It's a national treasure right here. It's very cultured. I love it. I love it. All right, so we have loved getting to know you. Shady, you're going to talk with our man, Eamon Wilson, get to know him a little bit better as well. And what's for the Bears?
Now, and I sing a little bit just
wait a
so
minute.
y'all know.
We can do a little beat.
Come on now.
You drop a little vocals. We can have a little something here.
Okay, all right. So, Coach Wilson, I want to talk to you for a second. Now, you guys, since you arrived, right, you guys been knocking on that door.
Right.
This year, 2025, what's it going to take to actually knock down the door?
Just being consistent and taking care of one day at a time, not looking towards December. Let's focus on getting better each day at Morgan State. Then when we take the road to play South Alabama August 30th, put our best time, not looking towards December. Let's focus on getting better each day at Morgan State. Then when we take the road to play South Alabama August 30th, put our best product on the field.
Now, you've been known to build some tough teams, right? And as you could tell, Wilson, he don't mess around, right? But I want to ask you this. If you had a theme song, right, for your team, what would it be? And don't say nothing about the Eye of the Tiger. We had enough of that. Rockies, he's been did that.
A theme song?
Theme song.
Man, I don't know. I heard my team listen to Sexy Red one day in practice. So
No, you didn't.
Did
you cut the whole practice?
I got him off the field. So I'm not sure.
But on a serious note, big year for you this year, right?
Yeah.
And we talked earlier about the talent level, right? About, coming in this league and seeing the different talent levels. As far as your team, what would you say talent-wise, right?
Right.
Talented group of kids?
I would say so overall, offensively and defensively. And we got, I think, 2 of the best kickers in the conference as well. So all 3 seasons, we're going to have a really good product that we're excited to put on the field this fall.
Now, a lot of times with these teams, right, you don't really – it's a player that steps out, that makes a big splash that nobody really knows about, right?
Right.
Is there a kid right now that you see like, wow, people are going to know about him by game 2, he's going to be circling all the game plans?
I think as a guy offensively, we have JoJo Kennedy. He's had a great offseason. He's been programmed for 3 years, and it's his time to shine. And I think he's going to take advantage of his opportunity being one of the features of our offense. So I look forward to JoJo having a breakout year.
Now, like an OG type of coach, right? Going on your 26th year, correct?
Right, that's right.
Has there ever been like a moment, right, especially this year, is like, like a surprise, Because sometimes the coaches be coaching for so long, every once in a while they get that laugh, like a surprise, like, okay, something different. Has it been something like that with this team?
Just dealing with the new college landscape is a surprise. I never saw this coming, but we embrace it, and whether it's a transfer portal, NIL, we embrace the whole new landscape. But that's been a surprise.
Now, one of my OGs, right, Deion Sanders, Coach Prime,
Yep.
did his thing at Jackson State, then moved on. Mm-hmm. I want to ask you, how has the NIL been effective, beneficial, positive or negative?
I think it's great. Give us the opportunity to reward or award the student athletes money. I think it's a great deal. I think it's a lot of education that has to happen with it, just to understand the tax ramifications if you receive NIL deals and that sort of thing. We have a few guys that's receiving NIL deals, and but I think it's great. I really support it.
That's funny because I see a lot of kids running around with Louis Vuitton sneakers on. I was in college. I never could afford that in college.
They only
but you
10 more.
see it now.
Yeah, I do. I saw it today. So that's good, though, for these guys to get out.
Now, as Michael Vick was on the set, we interviewed him, and he walked off. And as you came on, he was like, he's a true OG right there.
Right.
How do you feel about a lot of NFL players, right, now coming into coaching now? How do you feel about that?
It's interesting, man. Like, I'm that came up kind of the hard way. You know, I came up as a position coach.
Say what I mean? Right.
I had to go through that process. I had a great conversation with Mike Vick yesterday as well as LeSean, just getting them to understand the game, you know, the college game and what's going to take to be successful. We extended our hand. If you ever need some help, you know, let's talk, let's communicate, because a lot of things you think you're prepared for until it come knocking on your door. You know, you got to learn how to deal with it. You got 100 young men counting on you to lead them the right way. So, you know, we're here as a resource, man, and I've been very fortunate to work with a lot of good coaches and a lot of good programs. So, and I'm just here to help where I can.
Now, we talked about your teams, right? The DNA is more the physical type of players that you want.
Right.
But you talked about the offense. When we think about physical, we think about tough, we think about the defense.
Right.
Give us some intel on the defense.
I mean, defensive, we've returned, I want to say 6 out of 11 starters. Excited about those guys, finished up with the top end of the conference last year. And offensively, that's the area we've been trying to improve the last few years. And I think we have the pieces to get that done now.
Now, last question before you leave.
Yep.
What's it going to take to bring this thing home?
Consistency. I said it earlier. Just being consistent. Do all the little things right. Focus on the day. I think those things, everything else will take care of itself, and we'll be where we need to be at the end of the season.
Coach Wilson, come on now. I can't just leave like that.
What you want me to say?
That's a Bill Belichick just straight. What's going to need to bring this thing home?
Consistency. Ain't going to change. I learned a long time ago, man. Just focus on the little things, and everything else take care of itself.
All right, Jay and Tiff, back to y'all. I tried, but you're a true OG.
No doubt. Coach Wilson's going to tell you consistency all the way through.
He dodged it. Everybody know the question is, he need a quarterback, man. You know, once he finds some consistent quarterback play and they got a guy they can hang their hat on, going to be trouble around the rest of the conference. So the rest of the conference is hoping they don't get their quarterback together. Sorry, I know you got to take the guy, you got to protect it, but it's a job to call like I see it. If Morgan State finds QB1 to with it, look out.
All right, so after their first game against South Alabama, you will let them know who you are. Is that correct?
Yeah, most definitely.
That's Jay Walker. I'm Tiffany Greene. Who are you?
We are the best. What? We don't take no mess. What? We get mad in a minute. What? Stomp you in your chest. What did you say?
Okay.
You heard it?
Okay.
You heard it. All right. Love
I want
it.
a beat to that, though. You the beat guy. Come up with a beat.
Right, next time we track underneath it. When we return here, thank you so much, Eric and Daniel. We will hear from some of the conference's perennial contenders. Trey Oliver, you know he likes to talk some smack round these parts, but we'll hear from his players first when we come back.
Embrace
Fly in Philly, but wait a minute. Eagle pride amplified here in M&T Stadium. It's North Carolina Central Eagles. Get it right. Get it right. Oh, yeah.
Am I doing that right?
Couple of first-teamers right here. Linebacker Max Urin, quarterback Walker Harris. And, gentlemen, always high expectations. So much in store each season. You all have been one of the most successful programs with your head coach, Trey Oliver. So what does this 2025 version of the Eagles look like?
I think it's going to be the same, really. I think the standard and the expectations will never change for our program. I think our brand will remain the same. And, I think this season is going to be a championship.
Coach Oliver always talks about culture over scheme. What does that mean to you, Max?
To me personally, what he goes over and over and says all the time is it's all about the people. We have great people in our program, whether that's players like me and Walker or people on the staff, great people in this program.
And you guys are like known commodities. I think, you all have been rewarded. You have great careers out there. Walker, I know you had to wait in the wings to get your chance to shine as a quarterback. And Max, you've been doing it ever since you got there. They finally brought me a quarterback to talk to, too. They finally brought me a quarterback. And I think that's one of the keys when you talk about conference play in the MEAC is quarterback play. Walker, you're like the elder statesman of quarterback out there. You got to become a first-year starter last year. What are you looking to improve upon from year 1 to year 2?
Yeah, I mean, looking to improve tremendously. You know, I want to take that next step and become an elite level quarterback at this level. You know, I think the biggest thing for me is going to be consistency. You know, I think I got to be an elite passer, an elite quarterback from the first quarter to the fourth quarter. And I think that's going to be it's going to put my team in a position to win.
All right, I'm going to give you a layup, quarterback. Tell me some of those targets that you're expecting to have big years that we need to know about in that receiving core for Central.
Man, I can tell you guys this. We have about 6-7 guys that can run, that can really go. I mean, we're talking about guys that can push the ball down the field, run vertical. We got guys that can run routes. A few of those guys, Chauncey Spikes, it's a dude, it's a grown man, playing the outside from the slot. Not Skip. Quentin McCoy, he's coming off an injury from last year. Big, tall, 6'4" guy. On routes and can go get it. So that's the two main guys on the outside. And from the slot, Chance Peterson, great route runner. One of the best route runners I've ever been around. Flat out fly. We got plenty of McCoy Wall.
And with that many, go down with that many weapons you name, this left arm better be ready. You need to get in that weight room a little bit too.
Yeah, man. I can go all day talking about them guys.
Now, Max wants to try to impress upon everybody what the defense has to offer. So, Max, shout out some of your guys.
Absolutely. Starting in the back end, you got guys like Jelani Vassell, Malcolm, and Eric Adams, who all had significant playing experience last year. Looking forward to see what they can do this year. On the defensive line, you got guys like Christian Smith and Thomas Johnson that really bring a bunch of experience up front. Very excited to see what we're able to put on film this year.
What I've always been impressed with North Carolina Central, and this is the philosophy of your head coach, but the number of guys that return into the program. Max, you've been there for a while. Walker, you have the same story. So what is it that takes you back to Durham each year?
You know, I think that goes back to culture, what you were talking about, culture over scheme. You know, culture, you know, it's not just what we do in the program. It's really a way of life. You know, that's how we walk, that's how we talk, that's how we go about our business every day. And, you know, instilling that discipline and that culture in us, that's valuable. You know, that's something I take immense pride in. So, you know, coming back for another year this is a no-brainer for me. I mean, the people, my teammates, the coaching staff, I mean, it's one of a kind. I couldn't imagine myself being anywhere else.
And we just saw those numbers that Max put up a year ago on the defensive side of the ball. You guys got some changes on the defense. Just talking about your defensive coordinator, you made changes there. What are going to be some of the wrinkles we're going to see a little different?
Excited to show them off in the MEAC challenge. Can't give too much away.
That was a well-coached answer right there from Max. You know what I like about these guys is they found a way to have fun, right? And so in having fun in the off season, leading up to this media day, come on, give me the Step Brothers pose. Give me the Step Brothers pose.
Wait, we look at this one?
Wait, come on. Oh yeah, come on.
Hey, just like.
Step Brothers pose. Give me the Step Brothers pose.
Wait, we look at this one?
Wait, come on. Oh yeah, come on.
Hey, just like
classic right there.
And they play golf together. So, you know, going out there and golfing, they got great golf courses down there in that part of North Carolina. So, have y'all ever gone down to Pinehurst?
Man, if we get the opportunity to go to Pinehurst, I'll drive.
Call, I can hook you up. Man.
Jay, all I know is they would push you on the golf course. Shady, you golf? You golf, man?
Do it.
Look, everything. Golf and tennis, you name it. I can do it.
You said I feel good about it all.
Coach Oliver, happy to see you. Happy to see you. Now, I got to say this. Now, the players getting NIL, it got to be the coach NIL. I mean, you look phenomenal.
We do all right in Durham.
Man, you look good.
We do all right in Durham.
Now, success. You've been successful for sure. I want to ask you this, though. How do you keep that hunger? A lot of teams, a lot of players, a lot of coaches, you know, it's always good at the top, but they can't really stay there. How do you keep your players and your coaching staff hungry?
I don't know anything. That's how I was raised, you know what I'm saying? Very competitive household. And, I mean, if you're going to do it, let's do it to win a championship or win a ring. So that's what it's all about.
I want to ask you this question. I want you to finish this sentence. If you're sleeping on North Carolina Central this season,
you're going to get mobbed.
Okay. I like that. Because a lot of people come into the season, like you got new coaches, you got all this new attention, and it's like you've been there. I've been winning. And when I asked you about staying hungry, you said that's all you know. Right. Now, some of these players, I always like to know, like, who captains. Now, you say you don't really have captains, but just a guy out there that, hey, when I need to get a message across or I need my personality to show, through my players, who are those players? Who are them kids?
We got several of them. And I talk about we don't have true star power. It's about the culture. The culture supersedes everything. It's culture over scheme, motto in the building. But we got some players, man. Up front, defensively, we got Thomas Johnson, defensive end, Wisdom Sims inside, Christian Smith inside, and then our offensive line, they locked in. We got all 5 starters coming back, so it's going to get physical up front this year.
At the end of the year, will you be holding that trophy up behind you?
Yes, sir.
It's about confidence. This is confidence right here. I mean, the way you dress, you can tell. Coach Oliver, I want to ask you a little bit about the NIL, right? There's been a lot of, conversation about it. One of my good OGs, Deion Sanders, NIL, he's talked about it. How do you feel about it? Because some coaches have mixed messages about it. Some like it, some don't. How do you feel about it?
I was in Atlanta and did a couple of interviews last week, and I think it's good for the young men when you can be able to get them plane tickets, things of that nature. I think it's kind of got out of hand when they're getting a whole lot of money.
Right.
And one of my things is like when you're giving a kid $400,000, $500,000 and they don't make it to the NFL, and now they have to find a job making $60,000 or $70,000. Now you got to look at the mental health aspect.
Right.
But I think that the universities and the conferences are making so much money. Kids got to eat too.
Right.
But I think we just have to have a plan with it, and whether you take 50% of the money and make the kids invest it or put in some type of fund or something like that. But seeing these guys ride around in scat packs and necklaces like yours right there.
Man, I done seen 3 Louis Vuittons and Gucci belts.
Those are fake. Hey, the stuff here, we ain't got that in our money like they do in ACC now.
Now, I want to show some plays right here, some highlights. You all talked about defense. What about the offense? I'm an offensive guy. Tell me a little bit about the offense.
You see my quarterback?
I just seen him.
He can go now.
Yep. That's what he was getting to. Now, what about him as a leader, though? Great leader?
Great person. And one thing about Walker, he sat behind our 2-time player of the year, Davius Richard, who is now coaching with us. And he could have transferred out, got frustrated, but he wanted to learn under one of the best in the conference in Black College.
Right.
So he learned, put his time in, and now he's got the keys to the car. And he's doing a heck of a job.
It's funny because we watch some of the best players, and I look at him like, wow, this kid just has it. There's some players that just know it, that just have it. Let's go back to the defense real quick before we get out of here. What should we expect defensive-wise this year, right? You talk about having that, being hungry, staying hungry. Well, a lot of times, it's really the defense. The defense really kind of sets the team.
Right. Well, we have a new defensive coordinator. I lost 4 coaches this offseason, which was crazy, but we have a new defensive coordinator, Jesse Thompson, who's done an outstanding job. We'll be a little more, diverse. We'll show different looks and play multiple fronts. Okay. So you'll see a little bit more out of us this year and probably pressure a little bit more as well.
Okay. All right, Coach. Well, look, man, good luck. Good luck.
Appreciate
You're looking good.
Thanks, sir.
I'm rooting for you. Listen, hey, and don't take boys. No. I'm being real with you. Don't take it easy on my boys.
I promise you.
D-Jack and Coach Vic beat on them, so I had something to talk about.
I love them dudes. We had a great dinner last night. There's a whole lot of trash being talked, and I told them it's going to be rough their first year. It's going to be rough the first year.
So we had a group chat, right?
Okay.
And in the group chat, they not saying that.
Who in the group chat?
Jack's there, Mike's there, everybody's in there.
Who else? Everybody? Mike, Jack, okay.
This like our old Eagle group.
Okay, cool.
Right? And they act like it's going to be. So I said, I'm hoping that y'all get in there and y'all get humble.
Hey, like Vic said, they said that on the group chat. They ain't say it over here a little while ago.
That's true. Okay. Hey, you heard that, Tiff? Huh? Coach Oliver ain't holding nothing back.
No.
He's going to introduce the rookies what a true vet looks like.
Shady trying to stir something up.
He trying to get it started.
He's trying to get it started. Hey, don't tip, because Coach Oliver will tip over now.
Shady undefeated there. Now, you brought up a good point there, Walk. Just want to bring it up. What's it like to you quickly to have Davius Richards, who you watched his career play with, and now he's your quarterback coach?
I mean, yeah, it's been great, man. Me and Pete, we go way back. I was his backup for 3 years. Very valuable 3 years for me. It wasn't something I took for granted. Trying to pick up as many nuggets and just anything that I can to be the best I can be.
That when you got a coach like that, when he says, "Man, you can hit that pass," you know what you got to say? Yeah, I've seen you hit it before, so I better go ahead and hit that pass.
Yeah, but it's definitely funny with the dynamic of like teammates to now it's the player-coach relationship. But man, it's been awesome, man. It's a blessing to have him in the quarterback room. And man, I'm excited for the season, man.
All right, gotta also give love to those linemen to help protect you.
Let me
along the way.
Yeah.
He said, let me have my moment so I can shout My O-line. That's a great quarterback, Jay. How much love did you give to your O-line?
I mean, we already shouted them out. Like 3 or 4 of them made preseason all conference. So unless you're trying to double back on that one, but
Wait a minute. Man,
Let me take a moment.
Yeah, it's important, man. These guys, they make our go. So, man, I can't say enough good things about those guys. The attitude and the culture they brought this summer has just been amazing. We got off to the line coach, Coach Mack, bringing in great things for the O-line to use. But the main guys like Noah McKinney, that's my center, one of my closest friends on the team. Like this, that's a grown man out there playing football. AC McMore, Trey Humphrey, those are all guys that's leading the group and balling. Balling.
If they can keep him looking this during the season, look out. Eagles going to soar. Eagles going to soar.
Yeah, they're going to need him to keep them upright as best as possible, especially when they take on South Carolina State later this fall. On the other side, we will hear from the reigning MEAC champion Bulldogs out of the bird.
Look at that
There's
swag.
the man.
Look at that swag.
Tennis Barry. After his first year of success, can he follow it up? We'll find out.
Come to South Carolina University
Stadium, home of the Baltimore Ravens, as we are down to our #1 team in the predicted order to finish in the MEAC, and it's the South Carolina State Bulldogs, joined now by All-American cornerback Washington and the big man up front, the D lineman, Josh Barker.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, the reigning HBCU
Put 'em
national
on, put 'em
champions.
on
Come
the
on.
table.
The whole
Put 'em
left
on the
side is
table.
just
Look at
icy.
the room just got shinier. You can turn off those lights right there. Don't let them disrespect you like that. Boy, I know what it takes to win the ring. Y'all put a lot of effort, so we're going to give you 30 seconds to reflect on last season's championship run. How's it feel? What you thinking when you reflect back on it?
It was great, honestly. Just finish what we finished, and the way people really didn't honestly believe in us and things we did, it's just an honor and a blessing.
Josh?
Well, when you put in the kind of work we do day in and day out, same mission, go 1-0 every day, same mission, new day.
Now, Jay, let me correct myself, because I said the reigning HBCU, the reigning MEAC champions. But what this group is looking to do, much like the Bulldogs did in 2021, is become HBCU national champions. But this team looks a little different than what we saw from last year. And I go back to that QB1 position, no longer there. So what's this version of the Bulldogs looking like?
We got Ryan Stubblefield in the quarterback room and Billy. Right now they're fighting for the spot, and we're just going to see what happens in fall camp. The best man win.
What I think is unique, we got Josh Barker, the big defensive tackle here. Normally we bring an offensive guy and a defensive guy. No. South Carolina, they followed up with Jared Washington, their Mr. Everything cornerback. So hats off to you all for the accolades that y'all have earned to this point right here. But when you think of South Carolina State football, what has to improve for you all this season on the field?
I don't know if I can really give you an answer about that.
All right, well, I'll help you out there. I'll tell you how I do my research here. You guys got 42 new dudes in that locker room, right? 42 new guys. You got to get them acclimated kind of quickly, right? You got to teach them that Bulldog way. What's that Bulldog way?
Just go 1-0. It's the same culture. We've been going at it since we got up here. Just instilling that culture in everybody. Go 1-0 every day mentality. It's pretty cut and dry. That's what it is.
In terms of what Chennis Berry has done instantly within Orangeburg, you obviously saw him at, Benedict. You came over with him. What do most people not know? I hear his acronyms and all of his phrases, and he certainly will garner your attention. But what's something that people don't know about Coach Berry that maybe we should?
He's a real man to everybody in the room, to the bottom of the bottom to the top of the top. Like he's a quality man to his daughter, to his son, to his wife, even. And I just salute him for that, because he's a good role model for us and a good leader.
And Jared, you're coming off a pretty good year where you got attention, making plays like we're seeing right there now. You have that pick six ability, got that size to go along with it. What have you worked on individually as a football player?
Really just, I cut out a lot of sugar. Like, I focus on my nutrition. But the little things on the field, I would say, like eyes, like where am I putting my eyes at? Am I looking at the receiver? Like, just the little mundane things that can change your game.
Josh Barker, I feel like you focus on the weight room. Okay, I'm just saying because you come up, you're strong, and like going through like what's top lifts and top squats and such.
You mean like my numbers?
Yeah, you gotta know your numbers.
It's 685, power clean 375, bench 420. So.
I'm not trying to see you if I'm back trying to come up the hole. Okay.
You know what's unique about that? You know, Josh is strong, but see, normally, like for his major, those are the guys that are too strong for themselves, so you wouldn't even try that. So a mechanical engineering major has to realize so much weight above me has so much chance of going back up in the air. You use the mechanics and engineering when you decide how much you're going to max out at?
I mean, honestly, I just lift without thinking. Either the weight going to move or it's just going to move, to be honest.
You see, that's that defensive tackle mentality. There, and you know, the success that y'all been able to accomplish has been great. So if you had to say, you know what, if we do this year, and you're not going to tell me one of them, but if we do this year, we can get it done. Each of y'all, give me an answer.
If we do this year,
yep.
I think all buy in. Like if we all come in together as like one unit, as a brother, and like you really stand beside your brother and you're willing to, you know, as Coach say, lay your life on the field for your brother, I think we'll be good to go.
You buying into that?
Yeah, I'm going to have to co-sign that.
He said, let me do check. All right, you go undefeated in the conference last season. The question, Shady, is can the Bulldogs run that back again? Do they have secret sauce and magic for this season?
Tiff, it's always the question. But I'll say this. Coach Bear, you motivated. Right? This is orders. I can feel the vibe. Like, you got me motivated. You need a running back.
Let's do it, man.
I might check in.
Come on, man.
Now, I want to ask you this, though. So these young brothers was talking about you, and they said that you are a great leader, right? And that they love to follow you. When you hear them words from your players, how does that make you feel?
I tell you what, more than anything, man, you got to be consistent. We're working in a career, a field where we have an obligation. It's a ministry. I look at coaching as a ministry. 105 young men looking at me every day, 18 through 23, 24 years old. Okay. Very impressionable age. So it's my obligation to lead them from the front. How I look, how I dress, how I talk, how I interact, my energy, enthusiasm. I have to be consistent. And all I ask them, I tell them, man, you don't have to be great. You don't have to be fantastic. Just be consistently good in all that you do on and off the field.
Yeah, that's a good message. If they have that, being consistent in anything they do, they'll be successful. Now, I want to ask you this because, you know, I got some of my friends, right, that's stepping into their first year.
Okay.
And, you know, I'm thinking about the training wheels, right, taking it slow. Well, you ain't do that. You kicked the training wheels off and got right to it. Tell us, what was the secret?
Man, listen, man.
Because we need to see a secret. Tell me.
To God be the glory, first of all, man. Getting an opportunity to be able to lead men, to get young men. That's they have a clean sheet of paper, right?
Right.
It's up to them what they write on it. But they got the pen. They control their own what they write on it. So ultimately, at the end of the day, for me, man, it's about building our team with discipline. Everything starts with discipline. Everybody got talent.
Yeah.
There's talent all over America. Every team I got talent.
True.
But you got to instill that discipline in the way you do things, in the culture, on how we do things in South Carolina State is unique. See, we're the only team. We're in a rural area. We're in Orangeburg, South Carolina. People love football. There's an expectation. There's 19 MEAC championships. So the leaders before me, the legendary Willie Jeffries, the legendary Buddy Pugh, all right, Bill Davis, those guys have set the tone and gave me an opportunity to be the head football coach at South Carolina State University. So there is an obligation I have, a responsibility that I have to lead young men, and I'm fortunate to be able to do it at South Carolina State University.
Right, and talking about that, South Carolina State, all the legends, right, that came before you.
Absolutely.
And all the players and et cetera. As you look at your team now, today, who do you think is going to be that next player to carry on that torch of all the legends?
There's so many. Oh, wow. They literally recognized the 1981 team who had like 9 players on that team in the NFL, which is awesome. You got Darius Leonard coming from there. You got so many great players come from South Carolina State. And I tell our players the same thing. You're going to get an opportunity now to write your own story.
Right.
All right? There's a dash. We always talk about controlling the dash in the program. That's dash. You enrolled in South Carolina State whenever you did. And you're going to leave there whenever you choose to leave. All right? But at the end of the day, the difference that you made in the time that you were there. You have some young men
that are very, very special. Jared Washington, to be one of the young men that are here with me today, unbelievable talent, has size, speed, ability. He's been a playmaker. He's an amazing student. He's going to graduate with his degree in December, but he has next level ability, no doubt about it. So we have some guys in our program. Next man up, opportunity for these men to go prove themselves and show their worth here at South Carolina State.
So I want to show some clips here and some highlights of the defense first, because as you could tell, you said consistent, right? And I think on most teams, you need the defense to be consistent, right? To give that team that type of identity, that type of passion. And as you talk about some of these defensive players, as we watch some of these plays, right? Tell me something about your guys you have here, though.
Oh, wow. I have a really good defense. I tell you what, these young men, they do a good job of flying around, led by our defense coordinator, Jordan O'Dafford. But, you know, everything for us starts up front with the big boys up front. And as you can see, Josh Barker right there, the real deal Holyfield, he can get it done on and off the field. But, you know, we had Aaron Smith was our leader last year. He's gone now. He's with the New York Jets. Did an amazing job, not only on the field, but off the field leadership. But we have some young men that are really, really special. I'm excited about a young man by the name of Jordan Dollard this year. Okay. He's about 6'6", defensive end, played for us a lot last year. Now he's going to have an opportunity to take it to another level. Just got a defensive end transfer named Michael Luns from Tulane University. Okay. Real deal. He came in this spring, very, very talented, athletic. But I think more than anything with our defense, our secondary is going to be special. Okay. I think we're too deep, good at every position in our back end, and we're going to be able to do some different things in terms of coverage that we're going to do this year. But all in all, it starts up front with the big boys, but guys, they can cover that on that back end as well.
Well, defense, they win championships, but
Absolutely.
I'm an offensive guy, and I love offense. Give me the rundown on the offense.
Starts with the big boys up front.
That's right, that's true.
You got, if you can block them, you can beat them, but if you can't block them, you can't beat them. No. And that's our philosophy. We build everything on the O-line and D-line. And we have a young man by the name of Roger Smith. We call him Big Baby. He's about 6'4", 340. He's been a 3-year starter going into his senior year, and starts with those big guys up front, man. So, you know, and I think we got some really, really good talent at running back. You know, we have some guys that can dot the I and cross the T. Okay. No about it. And then you got to have a quarterback. That's on any level. I don't care what level of football, from Little League football to the NFL. You better have a guy behind center. And we have a young man by the name of Ryan Stubblefield who played behind Eric Phoenix, who was the player of the year last year. He's coming now into his own. And then we signed a young man by the name of Billy Atkins, transferred from James Madison University. He's got a year eligibility left. Those guys have been competing day in and day out. And the cream is going to rise to the top.
Coach Barry, you're a ssharp brother, man.
Appreciate you,
Hey,
brother.
I'm happy to do this interview with you, man.
Absolutely.
Hey, Tiff, there's no secret why they're so good so early, so fast.
31 years since he stepped foot on Savannah State to now as the head coach in his second season at South Carolina State.
You know what you could have seen? Like, one of my favorite moments of this whole day has been the players, they can't hear Coach Barry, but they knew exactly what he's saying through his animation. They were talking about, oh, he talking about the dash now. Right. Oh, he talking about 1-0. He talking about that. They were calling out verbatim. Wow. Give me one of your best Coach Barry phrases or imitations. Put you on the spot.
Ooh, I got one.
Go ahead, do yours first. I'll follow.
You gotta kill a fly with a sledgehammer. Ooh. And it's not about the fly you killed. It's about all the other flies watching. We trying to send a message.
That's a good one. That was a good one.
Message?
Hey,
yes, sir.
Hey, Jay.
That's one right there.
Hey, can they hear me? Hey, Jay, Coach Barry said he's got some suicides for that.
You got some suicides when you get Orangeburg.
Oh, man. So, Jared, you're not going to step out on that leg?
Nah, I'm going to let him have that. He did everything he was supposed to do.
All right, thank you so much, fellas. Josh Parker, Washington, the South Carolina State Bulldogs. Appreciate their time. And when we come back, we will hear from the commissioner, Sonia Stills, as the MEAC continues in their celebration of their 55th year. Come back with us from more at M&T Stadium.